Said he met her at a strip club. Fast forward to, they had sex. Fast forward to, now she's pregnant. Fast forward to, he moved her in your old building. She lives downstairs from y'all. She's met Carter. She's hung out with Kirk's family. And I didn't believe anything she's telling me at this point, right? I was like, show me something. So she shows me text messages from Kirk. I said, let me see the number. She was like, no, he uses a whole nother phone. He got 2 phones.
Really?
She showed me a video. And the video was her in her apartment and Kirk is holding the baby. And she was like, say hi to Dad.
Rasheeda had always trusted Kirk. So she was surprised when he knelt down in front of Jasmine. This whole situation felt like something out of a twisted soap opera. Rasheeda perched on the edge of the couch, her heart racing as the news set in. As her eyes returned to their common goals, victories, and battles, she exclaimed, "Can you believe this?" Just loud enough to be heard, the walls seemed to close in and the space became oppressive. Her friends gathered around to attempt to calm her and provide words of support as they noticed the storm brewing within her. But the betrayal was painful. She had been there for Kirk, through good times and bad, and had witnessed their highs and lows together, so the thought of him proposing to someone else made her feel deceived. She felt trembling anger and despair, attempting to overcome her calm after everything we've been through, with a tone that was a mix of surprise and anger. She said, constructed together, believing that we were creating a life together. How could he allow all of that to go to someone else? One of her friends was going through a really bad period of mourning that would never go away. Mia Benton, closer. Don't let him take away from you, Rasheeda. You have always been the rock of our relationship. You are so deserving of better than this. As Rasheeda wiped away her tears, a glimmer of rage ignited inside her. You're correct. I refuse to let him judge my value. I am tired of being the understanding wife. So this is my wake-up call. Her friends gathered around her, reminding her how she had always defended her family and prioritized love over hate. They had supported her through both the good and the terrible. She could feel the bitterness seeping through her words, but they also showed a growing strength. You've put in a lot of work, and he's just disregarding everything as if it weren't important. Mia added, Rash should have spoke more loudly. I've given him my all. I was there for him when he needed me. I have stood with him through all of his scandals and business endeavors. He repays me in this way. Nothing happened as she listened, and the feeling of betrayal subsided. The room's atmosphere was one of empathy and empowerment, with a determined smile lighting up her features. Rasheeda rose up and wiped her face with the back of her palm. If he believes he can, I'll show him what's missing. Now I have to take control of my life. I'm changing my story, but it's okay if he wants a fairy tale with Jasmine. Just leave. He has another item coming. I won't stand by and watch him act like a victim while he's out here having a great time with someone else. Her mind racing, she paced the room. When her allies heard the confidence in her voice, they nodded in accord. They served as armor against the pain, and she refused to let it define who she was. She kept stopping the fires. I'm going to rise from this stronger than ever. She saw something inside herself bow as her pals came together to look into methods they could help her regain her identity. Maybe I should be glad too. I've spent a lot of time trying to fix what's wrong in an effort to make him happy. But what about me? Put your interests first, Mia advised. You should concentrate on your music and business since you are very talented and it's time to show it off. Runa had a sense of clarity and smiled through her tears. He thinks he can break me, but I'm going to come back stronger, she declared Dee calmly. I've given him a lot of my energy, but I have goals of my own, and it's time to take care of myself. She felt lighter after each sentence, even though the betrayal still hurt. It wasn't the event that changed her life. They talked long into the night, planning her return, her look. Bolder and more foreign, Rasheeda noticed that the previous focus had shifted. There was now something promising in the air. "I'm prepared to take my story back," France encouraged Rasheeda as she spoke, sure that this was only the start of a new story, rather than the conclusion of hers. Rasheeda realized at that precise moment that she would not only go through this suffering, but also thrive on it with a renewed sense of purpose in a future full of her own goals and dreams. She pictured herself as the star of her own program after years of drama, betrayals, and endless cycles of hope and sorrow.
You can have a baby by this girl.
Do I have a baby? Do I look like I got a baby by?
Do you know her?
Have you seen her before? You don't know me?
I might have seen you in Atlanta.
Kirk, you don't know me.
Do I?
Rasheeda had finally had enough. She stood ready to make a statement in her living room, her heart racing and her arms folded. The air was tense and the atmosphere smoldered with unresolved feelings. Kirk Frost, her constant companion, was standing in front of her, appearing more awed than ever. "This is sufficient, Kirk. I've completed the appearances in the games." Although she spoke in a calm tone, Rasheeda claimed that the power in her voice could ignite the entire region like a thundercloud ready to explode the moment lingered in the atmosphere. "Baby, let's talk about this," he begged, his voice faltering as he ran a hand through Rasheeda's hair. A move that typically made her cry, but this time it did not. She responded with venomous words, each syllable mirroring the betrayal that had festered between them. Her eyes narrowed. "Your patience has grown thin after years of trying to patch up what was broken. And you think you can just wall back in here after everything?" She was over Kirk, even if he tried to offend her by bringing up their years together and their shared past. "We are a family, Rasheeda. That can't be thrown away," continued the regulation of emotions. This time, she was not going to back down. "You think a family survives on deceit?" she exclaimed. Rising, "You have betrayed my trust by snatching it and trampling on it, despite my patience and multiple chances." For once, Kirk appeared little and defenseless, and her eyes were obviously filled with fire. His voice was one of desperation. "Give me another chance. I can change." But Rasheeda was a different person. "You're letting someone drag her back down. You regret this," Kirk remarked on his annoyance, intensifying her pulse. She was racing as she responded, her tumultuous relationship turning into a weight she could no longer bear. She felt strong and liberated and was prepared to reclaim her life. Who could forgive so readily after having fought so hard for her own worth? Making this serious mistake? Rasheeda merely grinned, her mouth curved, corners curved forward in defiance. But he responded fiercely, raising his voice. She responded, "I doubt it. I feel free at last," with the tone of liberation. As she released the poisonous energy he had introduced into her life, she felt lighter with every statement. Her heart was racing as she approached the world, feeling like a warrior prepared to face the world. "If you want to get rid of me, that's okay. I'll show you what you'll be missing." Dispute? The sight of him scrambling just made her more determined as she gathered his belongings in a huff. As he stuffed clothes into a duffel bag, she noticed that the man in front of her was not the partner she had once loved, but rather a shadow of the person. Nevertheless, Carrie showed up with every receipt that demonstrated the relationship between Kirk and Jasmine. She said he met her at a trip. Club fast forward to they had sex. Fast forward to now she's pregnant. Fast forward to he moved her in her old building. She lived downstairs from y'all. She's met Carter. She's hung out with Kirk's family. And I didn't believe anything she's telling me at this point, right? I was like, show me something. So she shows me text messages from Kirk. I said, let me see the number. She was like, no, he uses a whole nother phone. We got 2 phones. Really, she showed me a video, and the video was her and her